Dave, do you get the sense that you have to have a quicker hook, a quicker trigger in a game like this with the rookie pitcher?
I don't know. I just felt that, I thought that, Tony gave up an early homer second into the game. So I don't know if it was Tony you're referring to or, Dustin where he was at. He had Lau 0-2, and he hung a breaking ball. So, and he got 2 outs. So I don't know, 2 outs and nobody on base gives up a base hit. So I don't know when the hook's supposed to come. I don't know which other rookie pitcher that, we could talk about giving an early hook to.
I just mean with May and Gonsolin earlier today, you had said that you would use your eye test. So I'm wondering just what your eyes were noticing from both of those two guys.
Yeah. I think that Tony, gave in with the fastball to Lau getting behind and hit a homer, gets out of the inning. And then, right there in that next inning, I just felt that I thought after the Wendell, I think fly ball, I thought Flo was a better option to get Margot right there and or Adames, I'm sorry. And we get Adames and we get out of it with no runs. And for him to start right there, I thought Victor threw the ball well. And, there was a double play ball in there. Kike's, in my opinion, the best second baseman in baseball. And we got the force out and just kept getting alive. And they got a couple hits together. But you got to give credit to those guys. They kept going and scratching clawing, but so did we. It was a good baseball game.
Next question is from Bill Plunkett. Go ahead.
Yeah, Dave, how difficult have you guys made it on May and Gonsolin with the way you're using them? They've kind of given up 7 runs in their last 5 innings between them.
Well, I think if you want, that's a question for them. I think that their usage, they understand that we need to get out. Every out's important. So that's probably a question for them.
When you're putting together the pitching plan today, it's out of necessity, correct? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, because all the pitchers, we didn't have anybody that was on regular, correct.
Next question's from Dylan Hernandez. Go ahead.
Dave, you guys didn't use Julio today, obviously, so he'll be ready to go game 4. Just the way your pitching's lined up, I mean, do you still feel you're in control of the series?
We feel great, Dylan. We've got Walker going, we've got Julio going, and then we've got Clayton. So, and if you look at kind of where our relievers are set with the off day tomorrow, we're in a great spot.
And just kind of, I know you don't want to play kind of the hypothetical game here, but, with the way Wood looked today, I mean, if this thing were to happen to go 7 games, I mean, would he be a candidate to start?
Yeah, I mean, the goal is not to go 7, but Alex, you know what? This entire postseason, he's pitched really well. And I just really like the way he attacked the zone. And so, he'll get a couple days off, and then we'll kind of reassess after that for him.
Next question is from Alden Gonzalez. Go ahead.
Hey, Dave, just why do you think May and Gonsolin haven't necessarily been the weapons you would have hoped for in October? And how much more difficult does that make it for you, given how important those guys are to your pitching staff?
I don't know. I mean, I think that I still trust them. I still believe them, and they just got to, make pitches. And I know that they want to make pitches and execute pitches. So we'll kind of look at the video and see what we can do better at. But they're still going to need to get big outs for us.
Next question from Eric Steven. Go ahead.
Dave, just want to be clear on Julio. Is he starting game 4, or would you consider using an opener in that one?
Yeah, Julio's going to start game 4.
Thanks.
Next question is from Claudia. Go ahead.
Hey, Dave, you knew the Rays are the toughest team you face in the postseason. So what will it win the trophy? Taking advantage of mistakes, making the right move during the games?
They're a very good team, Claudia. They're the best team in the American League, and they pitch well. They defend well. They're tough. They give you tough at bats, and for us to beat them, we got to play good baseball. So, right now we're tied in the series, and be ready to go for game 3.
Next question's from Ken Davidoff. Go ahead.
Hey, Dave. Just with the unique schedule of these playoffs as opposed to previous playoffs, not to mention the 60-game sprint, how much of a factor do you think fatigue is right now?
You know what? Honestly, I don't think it. I think playing 7 in a row. Fortunately, we got to kind of use different players, and I think the DH certainly helped for some players, namely Will Smith. But off day, and then now we play 2 off. I think that this old format that we're used to is certainly welcome by everyone.
Thanks, Dave.
Next question's from Jorge Castillo. Go ahead.
Dave, how valuable was it to see those guys out of the pen tonight? Their guys, Fairbanks and them.
It's great, just to kind of put eyes on guys that we hadn't seen before, and we talk about it. Once you see guys once, twice, you just keep getting that familiarity. So that's just going to only benefit us going forward. So that's just a credit to our offense, just continuing to fight and claw to kind of make sure those leverage guys got in the game tonight.
Next question's from Barry Bloom. Go ahead. I have another question from Jorge Castillo. Go ahead. Next question's from Pina Kaiser. Go ahead, Hannah.
Hey, Dave, you mentioned the importance of getting some familiarity, seeing their relievers, but then can you talk a little bit about the familiarity you guys have in this ballpark, having been here now for a couple series in a row? I think Mookie in particular had an incredible, really quick pickup of a carom, some early inning to get to keep the runner at first. Just how comfortable are you guys in this stadium right now?
We are extremely comfortable, Hannah. Even just understanding how the ball bounces in the infield, and you mentioned the caroms, and Mookie's made several plays against the wall. Cody's made some plays against the wall. So some of those plays probably haven't shown themselves yet, which they will in the series. But certainly, as much as we've played and practiced on this field, I think it's an advantage.
I have time for one more. Go ahead, Bill.
Dave, you talk a lot as a manager about making sure you put guys in a position to succeed. How do you balance that here in the postseason with 2 young pitchers like May and Gonsolin when they're asked to change their roles so drastically from how you used them in the regular season?
Yeah, it's a big ask, to be quite frank. I think that, right now with the off days, every team is going to go down a starter. So that's one thing. And so people have to adjust to certain roles. And when you're talking about playing 7 days in a row and how you can get as many outs as you can in the CS. Yeah. These guys are in uncharted territory, and a credit to them. They're not making excuses. They expect themselves to make pitches. So, like I said, Bill, it's different certainly, but we still need those guys to get important outs going forward for us to win this thing.
Thanks, Dave.